noon hour is here.
Check it out.
And you're locked on to Utah's highest rated, most listened to sports radio station.
It's my station. It's my station.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, folks, let's get it. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We got a lot to get into. We've got an incredibly busy show. Plus, we are live out and about today at Kenny J's Barbecue in the district in South Jordan. So make sure to come on by. It is worth the drive. I don't care if you're in North Salt Lake. I don't care if you're down in Eagle Mountain. Get here.
It took me 20 minutes from Eagle Mountain.
Just get here because this barbecue is incredible. It's one of our favorite barbecue stops. We want you to come on by and check it out. And they've got some incredible opportunities for you here, too.
Do me a favor, Scotty. Lean back in your chair.
Yeah.
And take a deep breath in through your nose. And just let all that barbecue smoke and barbecue sauce and sweet smoked meat smell just sift through your lungs. Is there anything that gives you just more positivity?
Whenever I pull up here and I get out of my car and I smell that smoke, that post oak smell, and I'm like, yep, this is where we need to be. This is a little slice of heaven.
And you can come here. We've got some great things going today. So you're going to want to get in here before anybody else so that you could take advantage of some of these things. But Miss Mary's going to join us today. Kenny J will join us. We'll have some fun. But before we get into any of that, my friend, my buddy, happy birthday to my guy, Scotty G. Everybody, happy birthday. Scotty. Look at everybody's happy for our guy, Scotty.
Yeah, it's not the big one yet, but it's close.
It's getting, it's creeping up there.
It's creeping up. Thank
40
you.
is around
like 4
the corner.
years away from that, right?
I remember when we celebrated the 40.
Yeah, I do too. Feels like it was yesterday. We were on air celebrating those 40s, and now we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, but it's not there yet. We may be, a football team in San Francisco, but we're not to the big one yet.
Not there yet.
No,
Do you want me and Hans to harmonize?
No, that's cool.
Lloyd, sometimes I think his no's mean yes.
Well,
I feel like it is too.
Okay, Lloyd, you go ahead. Hit the note, Lloyd. I'll come in.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday, dear Scotty. Happy birthday to you.
That was awesome. That brought a tear to my eye. I don't know.
Lloyd, I love how you always go low and force me into falsetto.
Well, let me take
that.
That dude's got one octave, and it's deep south.
How was my harmony, though?
Oh, it was awesome.
Did I hit it?
Well
Mine
done
was
by
a little
you.
off.
Well, we're happy for you, buddy, and I hope that all of your wildest dreams come true today.
I'm very
That
excited.
sounds like that came from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, no. You want chimichangas in the cafeteria?
May all of your wildest dreams come true.
You know what?
Pedro.
Honestly, hanging with two of my best friends on the planet, talking radio in one of my favorite barbecue joints ever.
It's a good day.
Come on. And we got a lot to talk about, too.
Yeah.
So let's get to it. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, starting lineup right now.
This is Hans and Scotty G.
Let's go.
The lineup is set, and it's time to kick off the show with the biggest topic of the day. This is the starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, it is starting to circulate amongst the Twitter world, and now you've got multiple reports that Utah center Walker Kessler will undergo season-ending left shoulder surgery. That, according to Shams, I believe, who had it first, and then it is others have qualified it as well. We will have Danny Ainge on here in about 20 minutes. And we'll see how forthcoming Danny is on that. But we will ask Danny about Walker Kessler, who we're only a handful of games into the season, and it appears that Walker Kessler's year is over.
Boy, it's heartbreaking, isn't it?
It really is.
It's just heartbreaking. The way he started out this season was so fantastic. You know, he had multiple big games, especially right out of the gates. And now Walker Kessler's out for this season. But a couple of games that he put out there, his opening game against the Clippers, 22 points, pulled down 9 rebounds. He shot 7 of 7 from the field. He went 6 of 8 from the free throw line and was spectacular. His game in overtime against Phoenix.
Yep.
25 points, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 75% from the field, went 9 of 12 from the field, 25 points, 11 rebounds. His game against Portland, 18 points, 12 rebounds, 58% from the field. Things were just rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
And looking great. And then that Phoenix game came.
This isn't fair for you, but I'm going to put you on the spot anyway because you're a resident doctor. What would a shoulder, and Lloyd, look, you dealt with the separated shoulders and the dislocated shoulders, to just in late October, early November, essentially say he's done for the year. What kind of shoulder are we looking at? Because, I mean, dislocated shoulder separation, that's a lengthy recovery process, but not a season. Does that make sense?
Yeah, not a season. There are dislocations that you can have a optional surgery to repair, but you can sometimes put it off. But I've got to imagine that the Jazz look at this and they're like, why put it off?
Yeah.
Why force him to play through this season injured? Why not just get it done now? And, you know, I'm sure that the Jazz are wanting to be careful because Walker Kessler just showed spectacular upside in his third year, just a couple of games into his third year. Spectacular upside. After a sophomore slump, that was a huge jump.
Yeah.
And that was really beautiful. So I'm bummed. I'm just bummed for Walker Kessler.
Yeah, me too.
He's our guy.
Yeah, and it just breaks your heart for a guy that just is trying like crazy to make his mark in the league, and this was a big year for him contractually as well. And to have to sit it out is a tough one.
I forgot about that. And I'm sure that that's going to be gut-wrenching from him. But, Lloyd, I don't know. Your shoulder issues, was it something that you could play through? Because you had these shoulders issues going back through your baseball time, didn't you?
No, it was more, towards the end, not my senior year, but after that I rolled over and tore the labrum, and I couldn't throw, and it became, I had my first surgery, and it was simple, but the thing is, it kept dislocating was the problem. And I'm talking, if I went and played basketball and was reaching for the basketball to steal it or reaching over something, it just dislocated. Like, it depends on how stretched out, I guess, the ligaments are. And it sounds like it must be pretty bad.
Well, and this is a rough time for him because and props to Ben Anderson and others have pointed out, he will be a restricted free agent coming up this summer. So that's a year where you want to really drive up your price and then have somebody come in and swoop you, and then the Jazz either have to match, but either way, you're getting paid regardless. And hitting restricted free agency coming off a season-long injury, that's just such a kick to the gut for him.
Terrible timing. Is this the worst possible timing?
Yeah. I can't imagine it being much worse.
The only thing I could think is pre-draft.
Or right as the season comes to an end and everybody isn't sure if they want to take a chance on you because the injury will extend into next year. If you want to get a season-ending injury, you want it to happen in October and certainly not March, so it carries over into the following season. So whatever happens now, I got to imagine he'll be ready to go for training camp coming the upcoming season, but still, when you're trying to prove to the NBA what you can do, you're trying to build momentum after the first handful of games, which he has looked very good doing.
Oh, so good.
And you want to build on that and carry all that momentum into and put it on display for your agent. Your agent's like, all right, I'll take care of the rest. You did the hard work. Let me park this car in the driveway and we'll all get paid. That's a tough pill to swallow for him. I feel sick.
You think about this. Through 5 games, through just the first 5 games of the season, he was averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. Through the first 5 games.
Yeah.
He was going 15, 11, and 3. and this happens. And you never know why these things happen. Now, a couple of good things about Walker Kessler. I don't think Walker Kessler is a money man. I don't think he's the type of guy that gets his motivation from money. I feel like he's the type of guy that gets his motivation from making coaches happy, making owners happy, making himself proud, making his family proud. So I'm sure that it's heartbreaking. This timing is just detrimental and difficult for him. But I just don't feel like that's what he thrives on.
Yeah.
That's the sense that I've gotten from Walker Kessler.
Yeah. But I do think he wants longevity in the league, and longevity means money. But longevity is, obviously a big goal of his.
Okay, if it's longevity, then he's playing for the best owner in the NBA.
Yes.
Because all he has to do is show a commitment to recovery, show that his recovery has taken, and go out and put some points up on the board when he gets back. And this ownership group and this management group will take care of him. They'll make sure that he's happy and he's where he needs to be because they love him. The organization loves him. And he showed that he was coming into this season ready to put up points, ready to give the team everything he's got. The thing that worries me is that it's been chronic shoulder issues, and it just presented itself to the point where now we got to get it fixed.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of him having shoulder problems. Have you?
Not to this extent, no.
But I think one of the times that you finally get to the point where you're like, oh, we're ending it, surgery, we're going to repair this thing for good, is I've dealt with it 3 or 4 times. Not I dealt with it the first time. It's like Lloyd was talking about. If it becomes chronic, if it's slipping out easy, if the pain is there, if it's completely affecting your range of motion, then you get to a point where you're like, this is becoming a real problem. We have to clean it up.
Well, I mean, Lloyd got to a point, a couple of years ago, where it seemed like a stiff wind would knock that shoulder out of its socket. And so, if you're heading in that direction where you just can't keep it right for a consistent amount of time, then it's probably best to bite the bullet and just get it done. I know. I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but you guys had to make hard decisions in your family. Do we sacrifice a year to have a life and career altering surgery done to make sure that we're not dealing with this anymore, that it's good to go going forward?
Yeah, and it took out a sports year.
Yeah. But for the long term, it was the right decision to make.
Very much. Yep, absolutely. You got to make that determination. And I'm sure that was a tough thing to come to for Walker Kessler, for the organization. And it's, that's big news coming out today.
Yeah.
Something I just didn't expect from Shams in his reporting.
The other thing, too, that I feel bad about for him is this is a young team with a lot of young players. You want to develop chemistry. And you can speak at this better than I can, but I've talked to a lot of coaches who kind of, they feel bad, but hey, you know what? When you're in the middle of a season and some guy goes down with a season-ending injury, they're kind of out of sight, out of mind. And you want to keep them around and you want to keep them involved as much as you can, but they kind of get lost in the shuffle a bit because they're working on rehab and you're working on game plans and you're going through the grind and you're working with the guys that you're going to battle with every day. And when he needs to develop chemistry with Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton and these guys that could very well be the future fixtures of the team, which he wants to be a part of, and being away from that for a year is tough.
Really tough. Really, really tough. And it's going to be hard for him because he'll watch Yusuf Nurkic.
Yeah.
He'll watch Kevin Love. He'll watch a bit of Kyle Filipowski. Taylor Hendricks, it's like it's going to be a big mix of probably those 4, maybe 5 guys that are going to step up and take those minutes. Because Kessler was a mainstay. He was a starter. He was a big minutes guy, and he was looking to carry a heavy load this year. So I kind of feel like, and we can talk to Danny Ainge about this, but I feel like that pressure and push is going to go on Yusuf, Kevin Love, Taylor Hendricks, a little bit on Filipowski. Ace Bailey is continuing to kind of scrap and scrape for minutes. And this will probably provide more opportunity for him as well. So it's terrible for Kessler, but you do have 4 young guys that you can really push out there and get extra minutes. I'm just trying to make anything positive out of it.
Yeah, and I think there are some positives you can take away from this. I mean, when you dealt with your hand injury in the NFL, I can't imagine there was a lower moment in your playing football
worst
life.
moment of my career.
And so you need I mean, the conversations people are having with Walker Kessler right now are like, let's prop him up. Let's look at this. If we do this now, the chances of you ever dealing with this again are next to nil.
Yeah.
Let's talk about longevity. Let's talk about what it's going to mean to you as a player not to have to worry about this going forward. And look, you're still going to be around the team. You're still going to be going on road trips. You're still going to be an integral part of what we're doing. This is a chance for you to observe the game and get right mentally in your basketball IQ. There's a lot of things you can work on here. But at the end of the day, I don't know if Walker Kessler wants to hear any of that right now. He's probably, and I'm speaking for him, but probably not in a good place today.
I'll bet he's in a pretty dark place. But he is a positive person.
He is.
But I'll bet he's in a pretty dark place.
Yeah.
When I broke that hand, it was the first broken bone of my life. And it was just before the second preseason game of my rookie season. And I'd had a really good opening preseason game, and it was like, yeah, you feel like your whole world is spinning because you worked your whole life for these moments in professional sports. And, the scariest thing is when you get there and you're at the highest level, when you're at the top of the top, you feel like your body has to be 100% to compete.
Yeah.
And if your body is even 80%, you're like, I'm going to lose my job. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get cut. I'm a bubble guy anyways if I'm not 100%. So I guess you'll just have to keep reminding him, hey, this is going to get you to 100%. This is going to get you where you need to go. We're going to take care of you. And then just keep reassuring him, you're not going anywhere until we figure out what's going on with this thing. And again, I mentioned it. It's the best ownership group that he could possibly be with in the NBA. They'll make the right decisions for him.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be hasty with it.
Yeah. Danny Ainge joins us next right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
It's a much-needed bye week for the Utes as they get set for the final stretch of the 25 season. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Danny Ainge, CEO of the Utah Jazz, will join us coming up here in just a moment. The Walker Kessler news is official. It is come across the line for the Utah Jazz, so the Jazz have released it. Walker Kessler to undergo season-ending surgery to repair a left shoulder labral tear.
Oh, so they gave us the details on the labral tear.
Yeah. The procedure will be performed in Los Angeles by a doctor with a name that I will not try to pronounce on November 6th, so tomorrow. Following the surgery, Kessler will miss the remainder of the 05-06 season.
Oh, there you go. Heartbreaking news for the Utah Jazz. A phenomenal start to the season. 5 games in the books. In those 5 games, averaging 15, 11, and 3. And was kicking it up a notch. Had a couple of 20-plus point games under his belt. Very efficient from the field. So doing a lot of great things.
Time to catch up with Danny Ainge.
It's time to talk Jazz basketball with the CEO of the Utah Jazz and NBA legend, Danny Ainge. With Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, and Jazz CEO Danny Ainge kind enough to join us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Danny, how you doing?
Hey, Danny.
I'm good. How are you guys today?
Well, we're at a barbecue joint, and we're knee-deep in ribs that are perfectly smoked and cooked, and we got brisket coming on the way. We got multiple sides. So, Danny, I'd say that I'm on cloud 9. I'm pretty much in heaven. Oh, and I'm headed to Lubbock here in 2 days, so pretty excited about the upcoming weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you guys.
I know. Yeah, it's a rough living, Danny, but we find a way to get through it.
We're going to power through this in the name of Danny Ainge. We're going to power through this thing.
Okay.
Hey, let's talk. Obviously, the big story of the day is Walker Kessler. We'll get to that here in a bit. But you had a chance to go down and see your alma mater in Las Vegas, BYU and Villanova. I don't want to be careful. I know you can't talk about individual players, but overall, this is a lot of expectations have been set for this team. and they didn't disappoint in game number one. What do you think of the Cougars right out of the gate?
No, so first of all, it was good. Good little tournament. It was with Florida and Arizona to lead the night. It was a good game and a lot of exciting action. Close game down to the wire. Either team could win. Same thing with BYU. BYU had a good victory against, I think, an underrated team in Villanova. I mean, they look pretty good. I think they're going to beat some teams. They got a handful of good players and very well coached. I think that it was a good win for BYU.
How familiar are you with Kevin Young's coaching style, Danny?
I might have told you guys, I tried to hire Kevin Young in my days with the Celtics. Wanted him to come in when he was about 28 years old, I'll say, approximately, when I was trying to get him to come in and run our entire G League program. And so I've been a fan of Kevin's for a long time.
So Walker Kessler, the Jazz, just announced that he will undergo season-ending surgery. How do you, as somebody that's close to these guys, but also part of the front office, your heart breaks for a guy that's going through this. What's the message to somebody that's dealing with a season-ending injury?
Well, Walker's a big part of our team, and it's a real bummer first. It's like a bummer for everybody. He's put in a lot of work this summer. He got off to a really good start this year. It's very unfortunate for everybody involved.
So with where he's at kind of in his career coming into year 3, Danny, just talk about the impact that this has on him and what he needs to do to kind of get back into it and get back to where he needs to be.
It's a shoulder surgery, and it's most players come back from it really well. I have all the faith in Walker and our team that'll put him back together physically, and so it's a real important time for him to just watch and study and be around and help all the young players and learn himself, and keeps diving into the film and paying attention mentally how he can get better there.
How's his spirits and what he's one of the most positive people you'll ever meet, happy-go-lucky, but this is a kick to the gut. How's he handling the news, and what you and Will Hardy and Austin, what's your message been to him?
I think that just hang in there. I mean, it's not fun going through these things as players, but like I said, this is an injury that most everybody comes back from feeling better. I mean, Walker's had some shoulder issues and missed some games with shoulder pain, and so it'll be good to get it resolved. It's just not fun while we're going through it in the middle of the year when we were counting big things from him. So
whose minutes does this impact? Who will we see kind of pick up those extra minutes, especially on the young guy side?
Well, I mean, I think we got to go look outside, but I think inside we have some good players that help us in the meantime. But we're going to continue to look and try to strengthen our team the best we can.
When you say outside, I guess everything's on the table, from trade, G League to wherever you can find good players, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, Oscar is down in the G League, and Mo Bamba is down in the G League, and they're starting their season quick. Nurkic and Kevin Love will hold the fort down. Taylor Hendricks will probably get some minutes at center, is my guess. Kyle Filipowski played some center second half of last year and played really well, especially on the offensive end. So we have some other options in-house right now, and we're excited to give them opportunities.
We continue to see really bright moments from this Jazz team, and Danny, none better than getting that win against Boston and doing it on the road in your old home. How important was that win? What did you take away from it? What can this team take away from it?
I think that we've played 7 games. I think we've had 4 really good efforts, really good, and 3 not so good efforts. I don't know what happened in Charlotte, but it does happen even to the great teams. You just wet the bed for whatever reason. And then we didn't start out the Boston game very good, but I thought that coming off the bench, Elijah Harkless kind of gave us a little spark with his defensive intensity, and then Keontae, gave everybody confidence, and everybody was emotionally into the game. And, Boston's a tough place to win, and to go in there and have that kind of second half that we had was very fun to watch, and I felt great for the guys.
So there's conversations from those that say Ace Bailey needs to play more minutes. There's some that say, no, let's gradually work him in. How are you generally with rookies, and what is your philosophy with Ace in working him into a point where he can play a real significant part of or a significant portion of the minutes?
Well, first of all, I'm not one to ever rush it. I remember we saw Jaylen Brown the other night. We saw what a great player he's become, and a finals MVP in his career. And Jaylen was playing 16 minutes a game as a rookie. And, Ace was probably going to play a little bit more in these first handful of games had he not gotten sick for a week, and that set him back. And so Ace is, he's made progress already in the last few games. And I think that his minutes will come and go, but he's got to earn them. You got to earn them, and you can't just be given things for free in this business. So when you do get an opportunity to play, you got to go out there and play defense and scrap and rebound and do all the things it takes for us to win, so you earn the respect of your teammates and your coaches.
Just selfishly, I wanted to ask you about Isaiah Collier, a guy that I loved from last year, showed a ton of toughness. He is an assist machine, and I felt like he would be somebody that have a bright future in this league. Can you fill me in where you are with Isaiah Collier, where he's at with the Utah Jazz right now?
Yeah, I like Isaiah too. That was a bummer when he got hurt later in the summer right before training camp, and he's been out and he's been working hard to get himself back. He played in an exhibition game the other day in the G League, and he looked better physically, just a little bit rusty. But his time is coming. He'll get some minutes and see how far away he is, or if he's ready to go now.
We talked a little bit last week about the development both on and off the court with Keontae George. That's a young man that's, to me, showing a lot of maturity, and I know you mentioned his performance against Boston. To be able to, in that kind of a venue against that kind of team, turn it on and play at that level, I thought was really tremendous in his development as a person and as a player. And you talk about earning minutes, and he certainly has done that. What are some of the things that you talked to him before the season about wanting to improve, and do you think he's on track to getting to where you want him and need him to be?
Yeah, I talk a lot to Keontae. I think that, he's got a lot of people in his ear, so you got to be careful how many people are trying to tell him things all the time. But he seems really in a good place right now emotionally before the season started. It started this summer with his hard work, his conditioning. He really was focused and on all the right things, and I think it's showing. And it's fun to see that a player of his caliber be rewarded for putting in the work that's necessary.
Well, we're excited. You got a game tonight against the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They've started out the season extremely hot. Cunningham is a complete beast. What can we kind of expect from tonight's game with the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, this is a tough team. They're very good defensively. They're long and athletic with a big point guard that's one of the top point guards in the NBA, Cunningham. But yeah, they have good depth and good youth and good energy. And it's going to be a tough game for us to win. We're going to have to play better than we did in the Boston game. We're not going to be able to have any droughts like we have had the last few. So I'm excited for the game.
You mentioned some outside voices, and I'm always curious to know, as a CEO or general manager, even back in your years as a coach, when you bring in guys that are very close and have relied on AAU coaches and high school coaches and college coaches and close family members for all the years in their life and their development, and to try to say, okay, we need to hone in on what we're telling you to do. I know you have a lot of other people telling you, and they've got opinions, and you love and trust and respect them, but you got to listen to us. What are those? How difficult is that for sometimes for players to kind of quiet some of the outside noise and just focus in on what this team is asking him to do?
Well, anybody that's been a parent knows the answer to that question. Your kids don't always listen to you, and sometimes it's someone else that connects with them and gets them to think right. And sometimes they have to learn the hard way. And everybody's different. Every child is different. Every player we get in, especially young players, they're at a different phase of life, a different phase of understanding who they need to listen to. And it's one of the most important things that we talk to players about in figuring out in their careers is who are you listening to? And, in a world of social media, that is more complex. But we're trying to get the right people around them, the right players in the locker room, the right staff working with them. And we have a good coach that's a great communicator. And I just think that, hopefully like we just talked about with Keontae, I don't know who he's listening to and who he would tell you, but he feels like by the way he's going about his job, I don't care who it is, he's listening to the right people because he's doing the right things.
Well, Danny, I know you got Saturday off. You play at Minnesota Friday, and then you're at home against Minnesota Monday. You got a nice little Saturday, Sunday window. How about we get you up in the booth with Greg Wrubell and I calling on this Texas Tech BYU game?
I would love it, but I'm headed out on the road to go watch some early season college basketball. Headed to North Carolina and New York City and Louisville, Kentucky. I got a lot of games to cover in the next couple of weeks.
The work never stops.
Can you watch a game just as a fan of the game of basketball, or are you always analyzing players and strengths and weaknesses and looking at the X's and O's, or can you just mentally disconnect and enjoy a game?
Oh, I can watch football that way, but in basketball, I'm always analyzing. I'm analyzing the personalities, how they're connecting with other players, their interaction with referees, with coaches, how they respond to bad play and how they respond to good play. Yeah, I don't know. That's just how I'm wired, and I've always been that way.
Well, you're also very gracious.
I like to watch the players.
You're also very gracious with your time, and the camera caught you a few times in Vegas, and you're busy with conversation. How do you even get to watch a game with as many people that want to talk to you?
Yeah, no, I think that I enjoy the environment of the games, and there's dead times in sports where you have time to talk to people, and I enjoy the people and the business part of the business part.
I was telling Hans the story. I did the Jazz half and post game shows for a lot of years with the late great Tom Nasalki, and we would sit there and watch a game, and Tom would look at a player in the fourth quarter or in crunch time going to a free throw line, and he'd say, he's 2 for 2, or he's 1 for 2. He's like, oh, no, he's going to miss both. And he would just tell that by the body language. And he was right about, 75, 80% of the time, because as a coach, he just could read body language. Is it sometimes that telling on guys when you can really look at a guy and say, I can tell where he's at mentally?
Oh, yeah, you can see where they're at. I don't know if I can project if he's going to make or miss shots, but I can tell where he's at mentally. A lot of players are very demonstrative and wear their emotions on their sleeves, and some players keep everything inside and hide what they're really feeling, but you can still see some. But yeah, it's fun because like every player is so different in how they approach this game and how they approach life, and that's what makes it fun. It would be boring. It would be a boring world if we were all the same.
Well, Danny, I know Jazz Nation is sending Walker Kessler all their love, and hopefully he can recover, heal, and get back in the same shape and form he was as he went out, because, man, those first 5 games were amazing. He was great in those first 5.
Yeah, we'll just try to keep him involved with the team as much as we can, and we have a great staff of people that'll get him right, and I think Walker will be in a good spot to come back better than ever.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Danny. Thanks for your time as always.
Danny, thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
There he is, Danny Ainge, CEO of the Utah Jazz.
So, a labrum, a tear. He mentioned that he had spent some time off the court with shoulder pain in the past.
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah, he said that the shoulder has been a problem.
So this is a really tough decision between ownership, management, Walker Kessler sitting down and saying, is it the right time?
Yeah.
And what do I lose? What is the cost? And it looks like they all came to the decision of, we can get you. Danny mentioned it multiple times. This is a surgery that most people recover from, and when they recover, they feel better than before the surgery. So he feels like Walker Kessler is going to be fine. It'll be a good recovery, but it is a season. It is extremely difficult. But I would be more shocked to see Walker Kessler come back and not look good than I would if he just came back and looked as good, if not better, after the recovery.
Hans and Scotty coming up next, another edition of Whole World News, and we'll transition into your Cougar Preview Show live here at Kenny J's Barbecue in the District in South Jordan. Incredible ribs, brisket, you name it. They've got a great package available for you for your Thanksgiving dinner. We'll talk to Kenny about that and some great opportunities for you to help out in their charity opportunities as well. It's all right here at Kenny J's Barbecue in the District in South Jordan, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. It doesn't get much bigger than this. BYU and Texas Tech, your home for the best coverage of Cougar football, is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Woo!
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Big thanks to Danny Ainge for joining us, breaking down the Walker Kessler injury, the thoughts on him and his long-term prognosis. And again, if you're just joining us and you missed it, go to our podcasting feed, Hans and Scotty. Just search that and subscribe to our podcasting feed. You get individual interviews. You get full shows. Our Sunday morning podcast that's exclusive to the feed. So everything you need is right there on that podcasting feed, including soon-to-be-posted that Danny Ainge conversation.
It was a great conversation. His take on Walker Kessler. I did get an update for the Isaiah Collier situation because he's a guy that, coming out of last season, an assist machine, a very, very, very tough guy, brings energy to the court. I've been wondering when we're going to potentially see Isaiah Collier, and kind of felt like he was leaving it open to fairly soon potentially.
That's the vibe I got from it. Yeah,
fairly soon potentially for Isaiah Collier. He went through some of the minute adjustments that we'll see from the Jazz with Walker Kessler off the court, and he also went over what is going to potentially go down tonight against Detroit, the remainder of this road trip that they're on, and some other things. So if you didn't get to hear that, go back and listen to it.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.